Are you ready to embark on a journey that will challenge everything you thought you knew about human history? In a world where every continent seems explored and mapped, the shadows of long-forgotten worlds still linger. Today, we will venture beyond rigid historical facts in search of two of the most mysterious civilizations ever imagined, Lemuria and Mu. These are not mere legends. They are echoes of lost epics, puzzle pieces that may hold the secret to our past and our future. Our story begins not in an archaeology textbook, but among sacrificial stones and ancient manuscripts. In 1864, British zoologist Philip Lutley Sclater, puzzled by the fact that lemurs were found in Madagascar and India, but not in Africa, proposed a bold hypothesis. He suggested the existence of a vast, sunken continent in the Indian Ocean, Lemuria, a land bridge between continents. But this scientific theory was quickly adopted by mystics. Our story begins not in an archaeology textbook, but among sacrificial stones and ancient manuscripts. In 1864, British zoologist Philip Lutley Sclater, puzzled by the fact that lemurs were found in Madagascar and India, but not in Africa, proposed a bold hypothesis. He suggested the existence of a vast, sunken continent in the Indian Ocean, Lemuria, a land bridge between continents. But this scientific theory was quickly adopted by mystics and esotericists. Scholars of the Theosophical Society, led by Helena Blavatsky, transformed Lemuria into the cradle of all humanity, a home to powerful giants who possessed spiritual forces unknown to modern science. And esotericists, scholars of the Theosophical Society, led by Helena Blavatsky, transformed Lemuria into the cradle of all humanity, a home to powerful giants who possessed spiritual forces unknown to modern science. A few decades later, on the other side of the world, another strange story was unfolding. In the 1920s, American traveler and writer James Churchward, citing mysterious clay tablets supposedly shown to him by an Indian priest, announced the discovery of an even grander continent, Mu, which occupied a significant part of the Pacific Ocean. On his maps, it was a huge, highly advanced empire, the Empire of the Sun, whose ships sailed the entire globe, and whose colonies may have given rise to the civilizations of Egypt, Sumer, and the Maya. He claimed this greatness perished in a catastrophic volcanic eruption and flood over 12,000 years ago. But where are the facts among these fascinating legends? Here they are. Geology confirms that continents drift and ocean levels have fluctuated. Submerged formations like the Kerguelen Plateau or the massive Yonaguni Monument off the coast of Japan spark serious debates. Are they natural formations or traces of man-made structures? The mysterious Moai statues of Easter Island, the majestic temple complex of Angkor Wat in Cambodia, the similarity of flood myths in hundreds of cultures scattered across different corners of the planet. All of these are like puzzle pieces trying to form a single picture. This is where the real mystery begins. Why is academic science so skeptical of these theories? Is it not because they challenge the established timeline of human development? Conspiracy theorists claim that certain forces, perhaps religious institutions, perhaps governments, have a vested interest in preventing humanity from learning the truth about its powerful, yet tragically lost, past. After all, the knowledge possessed by the Lemurians or the Muans could have been so revolutionary, from free energy to psychic abilities, that our modern global economy and politics would simply crumble. Perhaps artifacts that would prove the existence of these civilizations are deliberately hidden in secret repositories, like the famous Hall of Records somewhere under the Gobi Desert. Analyzing all these facts, versions, and coincidences, we face a fundamental question. Even if Lemuria and Mu did not exist in the form described, why do these legends so persistently haunt humanity? Perhaps it is a collective memory of real, though less grandiose, catastrophes, the destruction of the Minoan civilization by the Santorini eruption or the flooding of coastal cities at the end of the Ice Age. Or maybe it is a deep psychological need, a belief that we were once better, purer, more connected to the earth and the cosmos. The philosophical conclusion of this story is not whether these continents existed on the map. It is that they exist on the map of our soul. Lemuria and Mu are not just geographical concepts. They are symbols. Symbols of the imperfection of our memory, the limitations of our knowledge, and our eternal yearning for origins. They remind us of the fragility of any civilization, even the most powerful, in the face of nature's forces. They warn us of the danger of spiritual decline when technology surpasses wisdom. So, the next time you look at the ocean, think, don't the waves rush onto the shore with the quiet whisper of lost cities? The history of Lemuria and Mu is, first and foremost, a story about us, about our desire to know where we came from, and our secret fear that we might repeat the fate of those whom even time has forgotten. Perhaps the most important civilization that could disappear is our own, and it is this question that stays with us after the final word. But perhaps the true lesson lies not in their destruction, but in the very nature of their legacy. These legends force us to confront the cyclical nature of existence itself. Civilizations, like organisms, are born, flourish, and eventually fade. The real question is, what remains when the monuments crumble and the maps fade? What is the ultimate footprint of a culture? The Muans and Lemurians, whether literal or symbolic, challenge our modern obsession with material permanence. They suggest that the most enduring legacy might be intangible, not in stone and steel, but in the ideas, myths, and spiritual understanding that ripple through millennia. Their silence speaks louder than our noise, asking us what seeds we are planting for futures we will never see. Perhaps these lost worlds are not just cautionary tales, but cosmic mirrors. They reflect our own technological arrogance and spiritual amnesia back at us. In our relentless pursuit of progress, are we, too, neglecting some fundamental wisdom that could ensure our longevity? The haunting possibility is that the very knowledge we seek in sunken ruins, about energy, consciousness, and harmony with the planet, might be lying dormant within our own collective memory, waiting not to be excavated, but to be remembered. Therefore, the greatest discovery wouldn't be a sunken city or a golden tablet. It would be the realization that the story of Lemuria and Mu is not a closed book on a shelf in the past. It is an open, living narrative, and we are its current authors. The most important civilization that could vanish is our own, and the choice to write a different ending begins with the questions we dare to ask today. It is this profound responsibility that echoes in the silence, long after the final word has been spoken.